Hi everyone, Leah here from EurekaCrystalBeads.com with another beading video for you. Before I get started, just a quick reminder to go check out the rest of our channel, and if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button and notification bell to always know when we're posting new content. So today is going to be another stitch tutorial day, and it's going to be Flat Herringbone, also known as Flat Ndebele day. And for that, I'm going to be using two different sizes of beads. I have delicas right here, and I have size 15s right here. These are both Tohos. I'm also going to be using some 6-pound Fireline and my trusty beater's wax, which of course is very well loved and very well used. So I have some Fireline strung up on a size 12 beading needle, and I'm just using a fairly small piece because I'm just doing a stitch tutorial, so it's not a finished product. It's just to make a little swatch of a stitch to show you all. And what I'm going to start by doing is a little swatch of ladder stitch first, and then we're going to be building the herringbone off of the ladder stitch. This is oftentimes how herringbone is started out. So let's see. All right, so I'm gonna start by picking up 2 beads. I prefer my herringbone to be 2 beads high. There's my 2 delicas. I'm going to pick up 2 more delicas. So I have 2 more delicas on my needle, and I'm going to circle back through the 2 delicas that I first added. I'm gonna, of course, bring this further down my thread. And just let it close itself off into a little box, just like that. Now I'm going to go down through the 2 delicas that I added second, just like that. And sometimes you have to pop them into place a little bit, just so they sit nice and side by side. There we go. Nice, good view. All right, now I'm going to pick up 2 more delicas, and we're going to go circle back around through the 2 delicas at the end of the little chain I'm starting, just like that, and then up through the 2 new delicas. So you can see we've made a little chain that's about 3 little pairs long. Now I have 3 here, 3 units. I'm going to do a total of 6. We want this to be an even number of units because herringbone is built off of an even numbered base. So I'm going to go ahead and add on my 3 additional units and check back with you in a second. Okay, so as you can see, I have my little grouping here of 6 pairs. And now it's time to start the actual herringbone. Now I could have done this little bit of ladder stitch just 1 bead high, but I just simply do like the look of 2 beads high for the ladder stitch portion. So to start off my herringbone, I'm going to pick up 2 delicas. And if I'm coming up from unit 1, I'm going to go down the first bead of unit 2. Just like that. And you'll notice that the 2 little delicas, they sit sort of at a V. That's what you want to see. That's sort of the signature look of herringbone. So now I'm going to go up the top bead of unit 3. And I'm going to pick up 2 more delicas and go down the top bead of unit 4. Just like that. Sometimes you just have to pop them down into place. And now I'm going to go up the top bead of unit 5. I'm going to pick up 2 more delicas, and I'm going to go through top bead of unit 6. Just like that. You can see each one sits in that little V. Now, to start my next row, I want to be coming out of the first bead here of this next row, which is the last bead that I actually picked up. So to do a little turnaround, I'm going to pick up 2 little size 15 beads, and they're going to hide my thread for me. Some people choose to not pick up any beads here, and that's fine, but you will end up seeing a little bit of thread on the outside of your beadwork on each row that you start, and that just sort of bugs me. So I always like to cover up that thread with some 15s. So I'm going to go up through that bead right here. And you can see that my little 15s are just going to stick off to the side and cover up that thread. So now I'm going to turn my beadwork, just like that, and I'm going to start the next row of herringbone. So I'm going to pick up 2 delicas, and I'm coming out of the top of row 1. I'm going to go down that top bead of row 2 or on unit 2. Sometimes I have to pop them into place a little bit, and you can see again how they sit in a nice little V. Oops, just like that. Now I'm going to go through the first top bead of the next little unit. Okay. Pick up 2 more delicas. Go through the second bead in that unit. Pull through. Again, sometimes you have to pop them into place a little bit. There we go. And now go through the top bead of the final unit. Units of 2 here. Pick up another 2 beads, and then go down that last bead right there. Again, sometimes you have to pop them into place a little bit, but this is what we now have. Okay, now it's time for another turnaround. So I'm going to pick up my 2 15s, and I'm going to go right up this top bead, right there, just like that, to start the next row. Hold it tightly in your fingertips so it doesn't loosen up. And we turn our beadwork. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more of this so I can join you back with a little bit more done. Okay, so we are back, and I wanted to show you what it looked like with a little bit more of the beadwork worked up here, and you can see that we're continuing to grow what sort of look like 3 little towers. Each of those towers is 2 beads wide, sitting at a V, and we have our little 15s down the side, which I think adds a really nice accent, actually. You can certainly match the 15s as close in color as you want to the delicas and have them blend right in, or you can have them be a little bit of a contrasting edge. It's up to you. I am going to show you one more little trick regarding the herringbone. I don't always recommend it because you have to be a beader who is in very good control of their beading tension. And if you're one who tends to have some tension problems, meaning that your tension tends to be on the loose side and it's always a little bit of a struggle to pull your thread just right to get tight tension, I wouldn't do this little cheat. But if you're confident in your tension, then it's fine. So I'm going to pick up my 2 new delicas, like this, and I'm going to go down the other half of the tower and then go whoop, right up into the first bead of the next tower. And again, as long as you're comfortable understanding how exactly to pull your thread to keep your tension nice and tight, then this is a little trick that is a time saver that can certainly make your beadwork go a little bit faster. But if you do find that your tension sometimes is a problem, you're going to want to go through one bead, pull it all the way down, then go through up the bead of your next tower and just pull individually in between steps. So it's up to you. So again, this is where I would do my little 2 bead turnaround with my 2 15s. Head right up there into the next row. And that is what that looks like. Now, as far as finishing off with a clasp, you have a few different options. It's certainly up to you. It depends on sort of how innovative a beader you want to be. But something that I like to do is to travel back through to this side here and do some decreased brick stitch. And we do have a video on that. So if you check out our YouTube channel, look for the category of stitch tutorials, and we do have a video that would show you how to do brick stitch off of the end, and it'll taper it down to a point, and then you can add your clasp from there. Or you could certainly have just whatever clasp you want coming off of the center of the end of this. It's up to you. So lots of options with beadwork. So this is all she wrote, folks. I hope that you enjoyed learning this stitch. I love flat herringbone. We also do have a video on tubular herringbone as well, so make sure to go check that out. Bye guys.